Good morning, guys. In a second here, let me just go through the chat. Good morning, Harry. Good morning, is it Saja? Atom, good morning. Who else do we have? Gamer, good morning. Alpha, good morning. Sprout. Levi, Vishnu. Apollo, good morning. Okay. I don't know if Jago Tram is around. Actually, hold on a second. Let me just double check. Because I commented under the last Dream Hangars, and I don't think he left a comment. But let me just double check here. Yeah, I'm not sure if... No, wait. Actually, I think they did. They may have noticed. Someone left a thumbs up. Does that mean that he saw it? Or is he in the chat? Oh, you are in the chat. Good morning. Okay, so we're going to be covering your hangar today. Okay, so let me just put up the comment. Okay, so we're going to be taking a look at Jago Tram's hangar here. There's a couple of things which I'm going to be talking about, which is kind of related to my title. I know a lot of players are getting upset about, like, my title. First of all, it's partially clickbait. The second thing is I'm going to kind of mention what exactly it is, which you don't know yet. And then I'm going to show you how you can prepare your hangar so that you're not vulnerable. Because you'll see when I get to it. Okay, so we're going to be taking a look at Jago Tram's hangar here. They're in Expert 3. They need to start thinking about their hangar in, for Champion League, which is a good start. You should be thinking ahead anyways. I know one of the things that a lot of the newer players tend to do is they're focused on what robots work for their league, but they're not thinking ahead. The thing is, when you play the game, you're actually naturally progressing because you're getting league points. So it's only a matter of time before you hop into the next league, and eventually you find yourself in Champion League. And then at that point, you're like, okay, wait, maybe my bots don't really work because everyone's doing more damage than me. I'm getting slaughtered. And then you start thinking about it when really you should be thinking about it, Expert League, even lower. So we're going to be looking at that. So we have the Leo with Nanea. We have the Nua with Basileus and Machaira. Pathfinder with Machaira. Vector with Fahrenheit and Celsius. The Vulcan has Machaira and Velos. And then we have the Mauler with Void and Chasm. And we have the Stealther. Okay, so for the ones who are new to my channel, and you're not familiar with the whole Dream Hangar series, basically what I do is, so viewers, which would be you guys, submit your Dream Hangar. It could be something that you're running, it could be something that you're thinking about running, or it could be a theme like jumping robots or stealth robots, whatever. And then what you do is you submit your Dream Hangar. It's going to be 5, or it should be 5 different robots. You have your Titan build as well, and then your Mothership, and then also include your pilot ID, because if you get chosen, you actually get a prize. So in this case, Jago Tram, I already told you, and you most likely saw it. So your prize is going to be actually the new Fang robot. I'm mentioning it now at the start of the stream to encourage more players to submit their Dream Hangars, especially the ones that are struggling. Because if you do get selected, I'm able to help you out with... It doesn't have to be necessarily a new robot. It could be like a new drone or new weapon or something, but at least it's a guaranteed prize, and then I lock it in for you. And when that giveaway comes by, you don't have to enter because it's a guaranteed prize. Okay, so where do you post it? Where do you post your Dream Hangar? When the stream is done, you would just post it in the comment section. Always post it under the most recent Dream Hangar that I do, because that's where I go to select the next Dream Hangar to be featured. Okay, so we're going to be taking a closer look here at this hangar, and then I'll be offering my thoughts on it before we hop into some games. So what's going to happen is we're going to go through the builds. I'll comment on it, and then I'm going to comment on your composition, because just because it's maxed out doesn't mean it's going to do well. you have to actually have a balanced composition, especially when you get to Champion League. It does make a big difference. So we're going to talk about that. And then I'm going to talk about things that I could run, like problems I could run into before I actually play any games. I haven't played any games with this account. We'll see if it actually unfolds while I'm playing, but I'm also going to mention a couple of things on how to optimize this hangar. And, you know, one of the things that someone, I think it was Atom who pointed it out? No, it was someone else. They noticed that a lot of these builds, so we have Velos Machaira, Basileus Machaira. So if these weapons were to get nerfed, just hypothetically speaking, that is 3 of your bots nerfed. Because the 3 of your bots have those weapons. So just be very careful of that. But I'm going to get into more detail on how you can prepare for those kinds of nerfs. Okay, so let's just look at the hangar first. Okay, so we've got the Leo here with Nanea weapons. This is what I'm running: unstable conduit, repair amplifier, immune amplifier. We've got the Oppo drone. What I'm gonna do is, let me just give it a couple of seconds here, because someone actually told me that I have to slow down when I go through my pilots, because they sometimes take screenshots, and I'm sure they're not the only ones. Okay, so we've got the Nuo with Basileus and Machaira. Let me just change this. Might as well do full damage here. So the Nuo is one of those bots which is very fragile. You know, it's a damage dealer, but you shouldn't underestimate it, because it can do a lot of damage if it stays alive, and also it's a good support bot. This one also has the Oppo. So what we're going to do once we've gone through this hangar is we're going to run a couple of games, and then based on those games, I'm going to optimize the build. So that could be things like changing the weapons, changing the drones, possibly changing the pilot skills depending on, you know, what I'm running. Okay, so we keep the bots the same. We try to optimize the builds themselves so that this way you know what to upgrade and you don't waste your resources and time. Okay, so Pathfinder, we've got Machaira, armor kit, phase shift, robot accelerator, last stand. Some have actually asked me, why do I run the robot accelerator when the repair amplifier can make it tankier? So I also thought that, but then again, I also at the time didn't really play the Pathfinder much. So Cactus, I'm not sure if Cactus is in the chat. He plays the Pathfinder kind of exclusively, and he said this actually really helps, and I did try it out, and it does help. So having the robot accelerator allows you to escape. Okay, so we've got that. We've got the Fatagan drone. Let me just see if I can try to position. Which is the second nerf? Oh, 1 tank. Yeah, we'll talk about that as well. Okay, so we've got the Blaze Vector with the Fahrenheit and the Celsius. So these are the new flamethrower weapons. So armor kit, unstable conduit, repair amplifier, last stand. We've got the Tensor. Just see if I can kind of position it like that. Which is too strong? Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. It's like bits and pieces of it while I'm looking at the... Okay. You still have a second. Yeah, I would focus on one hangar first. Especially if you are a newer player or just still building up your hangar. Better to focus on one, because I find when players run like multiple hangars, they're upgrading all over the place. And then they have like 3 mediocre hangars when they could have had just 1 strong hangar, which would have done well for them. Okay, so we've got the Omen Vulcan here with the Machaira and the Velos. A nuclear reactor, unstable conduit, a nuclear amplifier, overdrive. Did you mention what drone you had on you? I don't think so, right? Let me just double check. I don't think you did. Vulcan with... No, you didn't. Okay, so I'm just gonna run the LAR drone on it. Okay, so we'll just use that drone, this one here. If you don't have the LAR, then I would use something like a Shy, kind of thinking Shy, Reviver, possibly Seeker. You know, we have a lot of stealth in the game. Trying to position the pilot skills here so that when you take a screenshot, you can see all the pilot skills, because that is the bottom. Okay, so like there. Hi, Jake. Oh, you have the LAR on it? Okay. Good thing too. Okay, so we've got the Mauler with Void and Chasm. We've got Titan Repair Amplifier, Self-Fix Reactor. I actually prefer Titan Anti-Control, but again, it really depends. Sometimes when I drop in, I don't know what Titans there are around me, and if there's like a Titan nearby, this will save me because it allows this to activate, and then I'm able to, you know, counter attack. Okay, let's see if we can try to position this up to there. Hi, Alex. Seeker is the best. Well, we have a lot of stealth. And you also got to remember too, because we have the Fang, which, you know, the ability goes into stealth. It's also handy for countering that. And then we're going to have a look here at the Stealther. I think you said Stealther. I think, right? Let me just double check. Stealther, yes. Okay, so before we run some games here, I'm going to make a couple of comments. Usually I go to this view because then I can see everything like, well, it's clearer. Usually what I do is when I'm analyzing, especially like a newer trader, their hangars, I look to see how much range they have. Typically, if they have too much range, I know that they're going to run into trouble when they get into Champion League, because a lot of the Champion League players run heavy brawlers. This is why you see so many vectors, right? Because it's a tanky bot, has a lot of firepower, moves really fast, and it can get to your spawn. That's the thing. So you always got to think about, this is how I think about it. If I were to run this hangar, would I be able to stop a spawn raid? Maybe. And I'm saying maybe, provided I have the vector ready. If my vector was one of the first bots, or like it died mid-game, then I might be in trouble, because now I only have maybe the Vulcan, the Pathfinder, and then these two. So it's going to depend on who's on my team and if I can support them. If there's no one there, then I might find myself in a bit of a pickle. But overall, in terms of, it's not too bad, but I do find that you have quite a bit of range. Now, granted, we're looking at bots here, which typically have mid-range, so it's not like you can change that. So we'll have to see if we can try to find a way around that. What do I expect to happen once we're in a game? So you're going to find that I'm going to play more the mid-range game because I'm playing the strength on my weapons. There's a possibility that I may get spawn raided. If I do, then we'll see how I'm going to deal with that. I mean, I have the Vector here and I have a Mauler, so that's going to help. But I'm going to have to cycle through. Usually I cycle through my range first, but we have quite a bit of range here. The other thing that I wanted to point out, which we mentioned at the start, you have 3 bots here with the same type of weapons. This is a very dangerous thing to do in this game, and I'm just letting you all know right now. The reason why is because when they nerf, like the Machaira, they will nerf the Velos and the Basileus too, because it's the whole family, right? If they were to do that, that is 3 of your bots nerfed. This is why you don't do this, and this is why I always try to guide players and push them into diversifying their weapons. If you have the money to, you know, level these things up, then that's a different story. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about the free players. It is very dangerous to level up 3 of the same types of weapons. So you see how you have flames here? What if you want, you can level up maybe 1 or 2 more flames. I don't mean like the whole setup, but I wouldn't go so far as to do like a complete setup. You want to diversify your weapons, because this way, if they nerf the one, then it only affects one of your bots. And I find too many players that complain when you look at their hangar. This is the exact thing that they all do. They all level it up, and their excuse is, well, they want it from the event. It's the latest weapon, so therefore it must be good, and therefore they should level it all up. No one's forcing you to level it all up. I'm just telling you right now that it's a very bad idea. And it's better I tell you now and I stop you from making that decision so that you can divert away and you can prepare for when that nerf comes. Because it will come. How do I know? Because most players are using it. That's your warning sign, your red flag. When you see everyone running a certain weapon, don't level up that weapon. So for example, everyone's running Shoggoth with the Shantak weapons. Don't level up those weapons because it's going to get nerfed bad. And I'd rather mention it now to save you the time and the trouble and the resources, because at least this way you can divert. Now, as for which weapons I'm going to be swapping to, I don't know yet, because we're going to run a couple of games now. And, you know, based on those games, then we're going to see how we're going to configure this hangar. Okay, let's just go to that screen. I guess a shameless plug. If you are purchasing anything through the web shop, I do have a creator code, Adrian Chong, without any spaces. Would really appreciate if you use my code. It helps to support the channel so that I can continue to help you guys through live streams like this, giveaways, and yeah, thanks in advance if you do. The mace shotgun, yeah, those work too. We might even use that. Well, I don't know. We've got the flames there, and I think the vector with that is very strong, so I'll keep that. But I'm going to be taking a look at the other Machaira builds to see if we can try to maybe move away from... Oh, shoot. Wait, what the... Wait, is there a hacker in here? What's going on? Yo, I spawned in like super late. This guy's got to be careful here. Trying to get that rust on this guy. Yeah, we're gonna be changing out our drones. So wait, why is my team? Why are we all sitting back? That guy's gonna kill me there. He's gonna go after me. I'm not gonna bother healing because I'm gonna end up dying anyways. Wait, we only got 2 players. Well, I guess this is the spawn rate coming true. There's a guy behind me. I'm trying to get this beacon so that at least we can... yeah, he's spawn raiding us. So the thing that I mentioned at the start, that's what you see actually happening there. And the second brawler is going to move in. That's how Champion League. That's how it works. This is why I try to push players towards building more of a brawler hangar. When I say brawler hangar, I don't mean tanks necessarily. It's bots that allow you to get closer to your opponent. I'm not going to push this guy yet because I only have 1 ability, and I want to make sure that I have 2 because they're going to lock me down. So you always got to plan your move. Plus he moved, his ability ended. Yep, so there's the lock. Remember what I said? I wanted to make sure that I had another ability. Yep. I'm going to get a little bit closer here. Use the wall. I do have flames, so... deal with this guy. Go. Yeah, they have a lot over there. He locked me down, but I'm gonna do the same thing. See if we can hide here. Where's... Shoot, we only got 3 players. My whole team left. He's gonna lock me down, so if I know he's gonna lock me down, then I gotta make sure that I have 2 abilities. Second ability is going to keep me alive. Yep, they're trying to flank me now. We've only got 3 players though. second ability. There we go. There's a camper out. Now we've only got one. That's me. Yeah, that doesn't look too good for me. Whew. Now we know that they're definitely in our spawn. So do you see what I'm doing? So now that I have my range, I'm gonna struggle, right? Because they're in my spawn. Typically, range builds, which would be like your 500, 600 meter range to like 1100 meters, they will do more damage, well, less damage per minute. Close range weapons tend to do more generally. Not all the time, but most times. Although, we started like super late there. We only had... Man, my whole team got like wiped. I don't know what happened over there. Alright, let's see if we can find a better game. At least one where the game actually starts when I drop in. Not like me dropping in like 1 minute late or whatever it is. How good is Tensor? It allows you to kill vectors. But you have to build it a certain way though. It's not like you just put it on and then, you know, you do well. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, I have to go get a beacon here. See, they're already trying to hit me. So I'm gonna see if I can fly maybe further to the right. And then I'm going to arc around because if they have those Shantak weapons, they can see me. Also, I have a bad drone on here. I'm going to show you a drone which works better. Ooh, this guy's going to get smoked. I'm gonna die. Yep. I know that I'm gonna die because actually this build of my Nuo is bad. The reason why isn't because of the bot or the build. The reason why is actually because of the drone. This guy's gonna kill me. Yeah, this drone's actually really bad for the Nuo. Not because it was nerfed. Actually, when it came out, it was really bad. I used to run the Nuo when it first came out. I never used the Oppo. What we're gonna do is we're gonna push into their spawn here, and so we can try to do it this way. Because all their campers, their range. Whenever you have range, you want to try to use the covered areas of the map. You never want to go to the right side, right? Because you want to create as many angles, cut-off angles, to prevent them. I'm going to move this way because they're using those weapons on me. So wait, I've only got 3 players on my team again? Are you kidding me? I gotta try to kill as many of them here to try to even up the score because they will drop in. So if I can kill as many of these guys as possible, maybe I can possibly mech them out. They just won't know it yet. So what I'm doing is I'm getting them down to their last stand and then I refocus. Me back on here. Now, when you play in Champion League amongst the top players, your first thing when you're dealing with the strong players, get all of them down to their last stand. You always want to get down to last stand and then focus on the next guy. So now I'm trying to see if I can get around here, creating more angles. So I'm trying to wither their team down by killing as many as possible. So this guy's going to kill me. I'm going to have to get into another bot here. I can get another kill. There we go. I don't know how many I've killed, but they'll kill me. But the exchange, I've killed like how many for the price of one bot. Let's see if we can maybe kill another one here. That guy's gonna kill me. We have a guy in our spawn. Okay, I'm not going to be able to get close to them. Thing is, also my teammates all left. They have a guy with range in the Basag there, so I'm going to see if I can try to dash this way. Create as many angles, cut off the angles from me. The Shantak guy's going to kill me though. Yeah. Yeah. Two versus 6. I don't like my odds. You can still hit me. I'm trying to find an angle where I can hit them. Also, shout out to this, I think it's a Princeps on my team. This guy, he's the only one that has the guts to drop in. Good for him. That's the sign of the strong players. They never give up, even when the odds are against them. Get pushed. Oh, there was a guy in the... I was wondering, how did I get pushed? I'm not gonna heal here. I won't be able to heal up anyways. We have a bad burn on this thing. What I am struggling with, you're noticing when they get into my spawn, do you see how I'm struggling? I have nothing to counter because all of my weapons are mid-range, but also my bots are very fragile. So when they get into my spawn after I've lost my vector, basically I will lose like 3 or 4 bots straight off the bat. But I'm looking at these things because that's important, you know, when I help a player out, because I can see where the weakness of the hangar is. So even despite having everything maxed out, you will still struggle. You can have everything optimized, you'll still struggle because your composition is lacking. Like, you need to fix some things. But I won't really know it until I get into games, right? What the heck's going on here? I'm going to target this guy to get rust on him so that he can't heal up. Yep. Oh man, I'm going up against my clanmate. Now we're definitely going to get spawn raided. He's been trained well. He's definitely been trained well. It's a downside. Yep. They're in our spawn. Oh, I'm gonna die. Ah, Rock, why did you have to be in this game? I need to actually drop down, but we're gonna get some rust in here on him first if we can. Oh. Okay, now I have to drop in with this. I have no choice. Should I try to get him? He EMP'd me too. Man, my team, you only got 3 players. Every single game that I've been in, I've been short-handed. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna try to push the right flank. Not that we stand any chance here, because I'm pretty sure game's over. Yeah, they're already in their Titans. Game's over. By the time I drop in, yeah, I won't even be able to drop in. Hey, Rust. Every single game that I've been in, my teammates have left. So here's the thing. For the players that keep leaving, the problem when you leave is that you're actually depriving yourself of skills that you will need later on when you face the stronger players. I know we were playing against a squad, but that's beside the fact. A lot of how the way that I play was actually as a result of me facing squads after squad. It makes you a stronger player. Oh, hey, Ramil. Thanks for the donation. Really appreciate it. So you might be like, well, how do you even learn from that? Because you're just getting slaughtered all the time. One of the skills that I've actually learned when I'm facing against squads is, first of all, get rid of my range first in my lineup. This way I leave my brawlers because they're going to get into my spawn so I can maximize my damage. The second thing is I learn not to charge out into the open because usually squads, they coordinate. What I do is I try to drag them into buildings or like covered areas so that I can kill them one by one. These are the skills that you need in order to survive, because when you get into Champion League, you're going to need every bit of skill in order to, survive against players like that. If you keep leaving games, you're not going to learn those skills. And the only way you learn those skills is not through 1 or 2 games. You have to play like repeatedly. So it makes you a lot stronger player in that sense. No, Brawler is one problem. The weak teammates. Yeah, they keep leaving. But, I mean, can't do anything about that. It is what it is. Unfortunately. Marco, thanks for becoming a member. Really appreciate it. Good morning to you too. Whoa, wait times here. Oh, wait. There we go. Now let's see if we can maybe link to the wrong guy. You know what? I'm gonna drop down. I'm gonna break that link because this guy in front of me is most likely gonna push the right. So I want to make sure that I link to him. I'm gonna link to him to. Yep. I want to get some rust on this vector here. This way he can't heal up. Yeah, they're targeting me. Thing is, he moved to the left, so now he's broken the link. Yeah, I'm gonna get killed. Oof. One of the big problems is also I've got a really bad drone on here. I know players use this drone because it came out when the newer came out, but it's actually not that great. mean, I'd only run it. I'm going to sacrifice this. I need to get rid of this bot. So you see what I'm doing is I'm paying attention to what's on the field here. So we have two Amets. Now I'm thinking, okay, what can kill an Amet? Well, Pathfinder can, because I can break their shield. Also, why did we lose this? What's going on here? Guys, so now, the other thing I want you to pay attention, look at the bots that are on my team. You notice how they're all fragile? They are fragile in the sense that they're not tanky. They can't roll at close range. So there's one. We've got an Annexer here. And you see what's happening with the red team? See how they're encroaching closer and closer to our right? So what's going to end up happening is they're going to push into our spawn and we're going to lose 1 bot, 2 bot, 3 bots for the price of their 1 bot. So we're actually going to mech out, in other words. Yeah, and you see that happening right now. I'm just telling you play by play what's happening, because if I don't mention these things, players, they don't learn, and then they keep making the same mistake. Okay, so we're going to try to see if we can get rid of this guy. I don't know if that might be a little bit too close. Yeah, see, now they're in our spawn. And at this point, if you look at the beacon bar, and you look at how many players my team has versus the other team, and I don't think that's not a squad. That's not a, yeah, they're not a squad. Definitely not a squad. But the game's over. Our beacon bar, there's no ways for us to make a comeback now at this point. This game is officially over. When they got into our spawn like that, so at that point, I'm thinking, okay, well, the game's going to end. I need to get my damage in. This is where I will run to all my brawlers. But the thing is, I don't have any brawlers. I have the Vector. Sometimes, if they're close enough, I will kill the Vector and then get into my Mauler to try to amplify that damage as quickly as possible before the game ends. So you can try to flip in here. Hold on. That might have been too quick. Yeah, it's too quick. He's out of range too, I think. That's Amet. Yeah, and they slow too. But I'm giving you play-by-play so that you guys can learn. And hopefully, you know, if you have something in your hangar that can counter, this is how you learn. All right? And then you put it in your hangar, because then you remember what happened to me and how I got slaughtered. But I already know these things because I've gone through it 1,000 times. You know, whether... And that wasn't even, by the way, that wasn't even a squad, because I know oftentimes players say, well, it happens because they keep facing squads. Now, the thing is, we didn't play a squad there, right? And I've said this many times. Usually the aggressive players are the ones that win. The ones that sit back, they get slaughtered. And you're going to see it game after game. So we'll run 38 minutes in. We'll do one more game. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to optimize this hangar. You're going to see me change the weapons, some of the drones, and we're going to try to make it more effective. I mean, I haven't even been able to even use my Mauler yet. I mean... just see if I can put that. I'm going to see if I can drop into a game here. I wanted to play more of my bots, but... thing is, I'm like always down on players. Hey, Brandon. How many games am I going to play? We're going to play this one, and then what I'm going to do after this, we're going to try to optimize this hangar, and I'll give you my reasoning for it as well, so that you learn that way. I think it's really important, you know, like, one of the things that I learned when I was in university, this was in one of my design classes. I'll never forget this lesson because it is so true. When you're criticizing someone, don't just say that it sucks. Okay, so what my professor would say, don't just say that it sucks. If you're going to say it sucks, give a reason why, but also how you can correct it. So I'm telling you right now that this hang is not good, but I'm going to show you how to correct it so that you learn from it. Because if you say it sucks and that you just end it like that, you don't learn anything from that. And there's no point, you don't learn anything from it. You know, we all want to learn and improve. Okay, so let's see if we can try to get rid of that guy. Do you see what's happening here? You notice? to get him off this beacon so we can cap it. So you see what's happening, how they're moving closer, their vectors. This is what I'm talking about, the aggressive team. They've also got a CHN player here. These guys usually run everything maxed out. He's going to have multiple vectors. We'll take a, if I remember, we'll take a look at this guy's hangar. Gotta flip him off that. Always have to go to this side. You're wondering how do I do the whole flip thing? You want to focus on, you see that cloud, that pink cloud? So when you use your ability and you're aiming at a player, and you see that cloud, that is when you got to wait a couple seconds and then you flip. You turn to where you want. Get rid of this guy here first. I don't want this guy to get charged up. We're gonna see if we can get onto this beacon here. I'm just trying to buy my team some time here because that thing will be focusing me down. Let me just use a heal here. We're gonna use a reflector shield. Just trying to change this beacon. So the problem here is that this is my brawler. But at least I have my Titan ready. Okay, let's see if we can try to get this to work. So the other thing that you also want to do is, before you drop in your next spot or whatever, you always want to look to see what your teammates have. If they have their Titans and you have your Titan ready, good idea to drop yours in, because this way their Titan can protect your Titan. Taking chunks out of him. I got a dash. I'm gonna run out of time here. Oh, I tried to dash. Too late. Yeah, they're just pushing. That clueless player, that's his second or third vector. Because we ran into him earlier, we killed his one. So he's got at least two in his hangar. I need to drop down, but I also need to get this beacon here. We only have one beacon. And I would link to my teammates, but they need to move this way. I'm not going to go left because we need beacons here. Going to use a choke ability on me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my stealth, or actually now. Where's my teammates? He's going to kill me. Actually, if I drop down here, if he uses the choke, he may not be able to... actually, no, he will. Hold on. We might be able to kill him. Yes! Going for the Pathfinder. Pathfinder can boost damage. What is this guy in? He's got a shield. The Omen Vulcan is trash. It's very strong. I don't know what, unless you you find you die to it, then I could understand the frustration. Okay. So what we're gonna do now, let's see how many vectors. I know these guys run full meta. Usually they have more than, oh, he has one. It's actually a pretty balanced hangar. Usually I see like multiple. Whew, that's a lot of ultimates. Oh my. Whoa, I was gonna say every hangar is all ultimate. This guy definitely has more than, yep, see? He's got 4. Just so that, you know, to back up what I mentioned before. The top players all run heavy brawlers, and the reason why they do that is because if they can get to your spawn and you're all running range, they can go through your entire hangar and that boosts their damage. So that's why. Okay, so anyways, what we're gonna do here to optimize this hangar. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of this, and we're actually gonna use a showdown. So the Oppo drone, I don't really use, and even when the Oppo drone was not nerfed, when it came out, I never really used it much. I think I only used it maybe on, and I think maybe on a sword unit or something. Yeah, I never really used it much. Let's just see what else we have here, weapon-wise. Okay, we'll just keep this for now. This is very strong. The Fatagan, I know players say you do a lot of damage with it. Yes, you do, but you'll find that you actually die a lot faster. So I'm going to change this drone. I prefer the Friezo because if I can stay alive for longer, that actually makes me a bigger threat on the field because I may not be doing a ton of damage. But imagine a Pathfinder that stays alive. They can break through like Bedveer shields, Atlas shields, Amet shields. And of course, you're getting damage boosts as well. You know, the bonus damage from that. So you got to keep that in mind too, right? Okay, so if we use this one, I might have to change the weapons for this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put... Hold on, let me just see what we have in the data pads here. Chain, thank you so much for the donation. Really appreciate it. Top 3 bots for the new drone. You're talking about the Skirvale? Definitely Fang. I haven't really run that many stealth bots for it. Some players are using Night. It's pretty broken actually on Nightingale. I would say Fang, and then the ultimate Raven is the other one. That one's pretty broken because not only are you getting constant healing, the thing is with the ultimate Raven, you also have stasis shield. So it's kind of, think of it this way. It's like having a Ravana, a jumping Ravana that can use its transcendence, but also can fire its shots at you. That's basically what the ultimate Raven is with that. That's why I think that drone's actually going to get nerfed. I know players don't want that, but I mean, it's so obvious. Like, yeah, when you have a drone that is kind of like that, you can expect it. So what I'm going to do here, we need to kind of divert away. I'm just trying to think what I can run on this other than... Got 3 here, got multiple there. Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do actually? I'm going to change these weapons to the Lumen. Now, I know you may not have the Lumen now, but there's a good chance that you will get it eventually. So I'm gonna show this. Another option if you want, if you don't have these weapons, run Hazard. Although I don't want to have multiple builds here with just the Hazard. Okay, so I'm just trying to mix up the weapons so that we don't have all the same weapons. This one we'll leave as is. Kind of wondering if I should run phase shift on that. We'll leave it for now. Just looking at the drone. We need to change these weapons here. I don't want to go the Shantak route because we know what's going to happen to those weapons. The better option... Well, I mean, what I could also do, because you are winning the Fang, maybe I'll just throw the Fang in here. So I'm going to throw the Fang in because at least this way you'll know what to put on the Fang. Okay, so we'll do that instead. So what I'll do is... also, before I do that, for the ones who are running the Nuo, just a tip, don't use this drone, use this one here. Or what I can do is I can run a game. You know what? Let's run some games with this. I'll leave the weapons, but then I'm going to swap out this bot for the Fang. This way you can see how I build the Fang. Okay? I think that might be best. I'm just looking to see what we have here. We'll leave that as is. If you find that your hangar is going down pretty quick and you want to strengthen it, then maybe try Bifrost. But I won't change it to Bifrost. I'll keep the Stealther for now, but I'll show you what turrets I have on it. Hi, Oxygen. I think that's Oxygen. Okay, so hold on. So we're going to run some games with the changes that I made here. Although I will be swapping out the Nuo with the Fang because Jagotram won a Fang, so we'll do that. Hold on, let's just run a game here. We'll see if this survives for a bit longer. So the reason why I put the Shy on there is because oftentimes I'll get sniped. So if I get sniped, the first shot, at least I'm still alive. And I might be able to get some damage in then. Where is this? I'm linking to the Brawler on my team because I want the Brawler to take them out. Just move this way. Yeah, I can't go. Ooh, that guy, he actually kind of helped. Just trying to get that rust in on this player here. Oof. I'm gonna end up dying. This guy's gonna kill me. I don't have much health here. I'm just trying to see if I can maybe... Guy isn't close enough. Okay, well, I'll get some rust in on this guy. I'm gonna end up dying here, I think. For sure. Oh. Okay, so now I'm looking to see what my teammates have. Looks like they are pushing. Let's go in with... We'll do the Pathfinder. I'm gonna let this guy go close first, and then I'm gonna mark when my teammates are right next to him. There we go. Get him, get him, get him. I'm gonna mark him again. Marked again. Now that extra damage. There we go. Lock him. He's going after me because I'm boosting his boosting my team's damage on him. go. But you notice already that I'm surviving a lot longer in this than I am with the other build that I had. I'm just gonna sacrifice this so I can drop into another bot. What's this? I'm trying to use the bots that I changed. Oh shoot, he went up. I need a link to someone here. This guy pushing. I'm gonna link to this guy on the right. This guy's gonna get me. Ugh, I was hoping my teammates would push then. We're getting kind of close. We have the beacon lead, so that's good. I'm not going to be able to get that right side. They have a Princeps. He's going to push me. I only have one ability here. They need actually 5 beacons. Their beacon bar is dropping real fast. If they don't get 5 beacons within like the next 20 seconds or so, the game's going to be over. And I might even be able to steal their beacon if I do a double dash and they don't lock me down, maybe. Let's go for it. Trying to move this way. So they can... The thing is, they're not covering their beacons. They're not covering their beacons. Giving me this beacon was a mistake. It's over. Even if it's just wide, it's over. They need 5 beacons in the next 1 second. Not gonna happen. Yep. Time to upgrade more vectors. I wouldn't do that. Hey, Joel. Yeah, so what I mentioned about the Machaira and the Velos, where you shouldn't have your hangar with just those weapons or whatever, the same thing applies with robots. Running 3 or 4 vectors is a bad mistake, because what's going to happen is when they nerf one and you got 3 or 4 in your hangar, that's like 4 bots, 3 bots in your hangar. Then you have to find something else, and all the time and the resources that you wasted on doing all of them, you'll have to do it all over again with another bot. So, you know, if I can prevent you from doing it at the start, better, right? We'll run another game. Okay, hold on. Let's just do this. By the way, guys, if you haven't yet done so, make sure to hit that thumbs up. We have 150 viewers and 69 likes. Really appreciate it. It is free, and thanks in advance. You have 5 vectors. Do you even run all 5? I find most games I don't even need 5. Most games I only need like 2. The only time I need more is if I'm being swarmed by a squad. get that rust in on this guy. Okay, so now they have their brawlers out, although I'm gonna run the Vulcan here. So we can maybe... trying to target this guy here because he's got a vector. That means he's a brawler. He's a bigger threat. Something above me? Where the heck? What was that? What was that? Oh. Now we charged and we've got rust on here too. Oh. Okay, so now we... where are they? Let's just go with this one here. I heard a Titan. That's them, right? Yep. I got a Newton. I can't even get down. I got EMP'd. At least I'm by the structure. We're turning the beacon. That's good. I'm still dying really fast. But we have the beacon lead. Slightly. Ooh, nice. Come on. Let's try to keep the beacon pressure on here. This guy's got stealth. What is that? Bang? That Newton's gonna use a choke on me. I'm gonna try to see if I can stay under this cover. They only have 2 players left. Yes! For their range. Now what's happening to them is what I mentioned will happen to me. Okay, so see how they have the bed via? Thing is, we got 2 Pathfinders, so we're just gonna break his shield. Whenever his shield goes up, just break it. Yep. Whew. There we go. Broken shield. If we can shoot through. Yep. And he is gone. Nope. Almost. We have another Pathfinder, so he can break his shield. Yeah, this guy's toast. He's toast. There we go. Gone. You can't delete hangars. Yeah, I think once you open it up, you will have it. What I do is to help, like to prevent you from putting bots in all your hangars, I just put like Cossack. I put Cossacks there as a placeholder. That way when I'm scrolling through my hangars, I know not to select it. Okay, so you can tell that this survives for a little bit longer. The thing is, what players have to realize, we have a lot of these weapons on the field. You can't heal from it. So naturally, most bots will end up going down fast if you hit them with these weapons, but you don't want to overload your hangar with it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to throw a Fang in here. So now we have something that's like close range. Let's see if we can... No, I don't know what... maybe I should try something else because you may not have... You probably don't have that drone. So we're going to run... I haven't tried this yet, so I have no idea what's going to happen. But let's run it with Murex because I know players have the Murex. Okay, so now we kind of mixing things up a bit here. So you notice like my weapons are all different for the most part on my bots. This prevents me from falling into the trap. So if it gets nerfed, there's less likelihood that it's going to affect me in a big way. Now, granted, they could nerf Murex and they could nerf these. They could nerf all of them. But remember, if they do it, it's not just affecting you. It's going to be affecting everyone else. Okay, and for the most part, at least you have your weapons spread out. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this one, let's just change this to... Oh, wait, we do have Sharpshooter on here. Okay, so I was running. We have Sharpshooter. I was trying to find it. We have Sharpshooter for the Murex. Okay. Okay, so we got these weapons, those weapons. Ah, they're all different now. Okay. Yes, you won a Fang. You got a Fang for participating and getting selected. This is why I encourage, especially like the newer players, you know, those that are struggling to really enter into the Dream Hangars because, you know, I try to give good prizes, but it really depends on what giveaways I currently have running as well. For this series, I prefer to give away things like robots if I have it available and I have a giveaway running, because I know that that will help that player a lot. You know, if they have a good robot, or maybe, you know, if there's a weapon that can really help their setup, then I'll do that. What's my thought? I still think it's a good Titan. It's not going to be the best. I think Sirocco's going to take its place. I mean, obviously, Sirocco's strong now. But the ability is very similar. Okay, let's start off with this now. I guess this is going to be my beacon runner. Although, I don't have the ideal drone on here. The Skull Veil is the better one. What is this guy in? What is that? He's keeping his distance. Also this guy here. Just trying to keep them back. This is the Vector. There we go. So you notice like my health, I'm not going to be able to heal all the way back up. It's because I don't have that drone. So that's why I wasn't sure. Stay on the beacon, dude. Uh-oh. Let's get... Didn't kill me. Almost. This guy will kill me. Shoot. We had some good kills with it. We're losing a lot of beacons here, guys. Yeah, let's see if we can try to use my ability here. This guy's hitting me with the Shantak. Gonna use the stealth there. him. Trying to get rid of all their campers. They have a Sirocco. Okay, so now that I know that they have a Sirocco, we got to push our beacons quickly before this guy becomes a problem. Use that. This guy, where did he spawn from? Here somewhere, right? Okay. That's a lot of kills with just the one. I'm trying to delay them, keep them on this beacon in the hopes that my teammates will go for the other beacons. Okay. Which beacons don't we have? Yeah, they have a Sirocco, so we need to push our beacons now while we still can. The longer we wait, the more it plays in their favor. Okay, so we're gonna get this beacon, and then looks like we need help on the right. Where is his Sirocco? Oh, he's here. Ooh. The problem with my teammates that we want to try to fight the Sirocco. That's not a good plan. You got to push those beacons. Get him away from your spawn. I got EMP'd by that guy. Oh. Where is I think that's the Sirocco, right? We didn't kill him. Why don't you push him? Okay, there we go. We're not gonna have enough beacons yet. What's on that side? I dashed right off this beacon here. Shoot. They know that we need beacons. Actually, wait. We should have stayed there. We might be able to do a 5 cap. Maybe. Come on, get that quick. Get it quick. Get that other beacon, guys. We can do a 5 cap here. Get that beacon. Don't fight them. Come on. Get it. We getting it? Come on. Stay on the beacon. Oh my gosh, guys. You get off that beacon, we lose the game. Stay on the beacons. Trying to keep them over here. Are we losing a beacon somewhere? Shoot. We might still... no, wait. We should win. Whew. Wow, that was close. I thought we were gonna lose. The mute is very good. Yep. If you have a player with mute on, it could really make a big difference. Actually, the times that I've been killed by when I was running Sirocco was because I got EMP'd, and I think they were running mute. Well, we were actually down a player. That's why it felt like Man, props to my teammates. They did really well. That was a close game. That was a good game. You should have won that one. So we know who's stream sniping now. Should have won, but we push beacons. I don't know why I'm doing this. This account doesn't even belong to me, but I know that it annoys players, so I'm just clearing it. I mean, eventually I'm gonna pick this stuff up anyways. The game does it for me. Try the Seeker. Yeah, we could do that. What I can try to do is use Mace too. I don't know if you guys... we could try Mace. So with this spot, you want preferably close range. Obviously, the Harmattan is the best one. I would use the flames, but we already have it on the Vector already, so I'm not going to use that. I haven't. You know what? I don't think I've tried the Croco and those weapons. I haven't tried it. We'll try Mace. The thing is, why would you want to use Mace if you have Murex? It's one of those things, and I know players have it because I have it on my baby account. You don't have which? Murex? I'd be very shocked. I know on my baby account I have a couple of them. I have actually too many. Murex and Elox. Yeah, if you don't have that, then maybe try... you could try Mace. I'll try this first. Whoa, that guy's really laggy. That guy's got connection issues. McDonald's Wi-Fi right there. This guy may end up killing me. But if I can get a little bit of damage on him. So, why did my teammates all go that side? Yeah, I'm gonna end up dying here. I don't have any teammates to protect me. I'm not bothering to heal up because I know I'm gonna die. There's a guy over here. Now we know there's close range, so we gotta drop in with our brawler. If I can try to fling him. Ooh, did I get him? Yes. He was going after my teammate. Gonna wait for my... I need at least 2 abilities. My plan is to get behind that cover there and kill all their Shoggoth. But I need my abilities first. The more, the better. And I'm gonna fight this guy. I'm not gonna go after him out there in the open because then he has an edge because his teammates are there. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna kill them one by one behind cover, and then I'm going to push around on the right side once I have enough ability saved up. Just gotta be patient sometimes. Now I notice that they have a Nuo, so I may need to kill that guy first because he's gonna give them the damage boost. So now we're gonna go, and I have, yep. So we're gonna go after this guy here first. Get rid of him. And this guy here, I'm gonna use my stealther. I'm gonna go after this guy here first, the campers. Usually campers have more than one camping build. So when he drops in, what was that guy's name? Alberto? Yep, there's the other camping. There's the other one. Ooh, he's lucky. I'm gonna kill that his second bot as well. Okay, so now let's use the Fang. Thing is, they are already quitting. So you see how I got behind their cover? Look, they only got 3 players left. 4. So what, they quit now because we're in their spawn. But I tell you guys, aggressive team always wins. This is why you gotta learn to brawl. And the only way you learn to brawl is when you face those players. You don't leave games. It's usually the ones that leave games, they miss out on all the skills they need in order to counter. You really did not do that much damage there. There we go. He's going to drop into the Titan here, probably. Just going to make sure that we... what is that? Sometimes what I do is I drag them towards my my teammates that I know will kill. I need to get into my Titan here. They got their Titans on. I'm gonna let this guy kill me. I'm gonna drop in with my Mauler. Come on, hurry up, dude. This Atlas has got to get onto this beacon here quick. There we go. What we need is a Pathfinder now. Just gonna mark him for my teammate. There we go. Why is that guy in our spawn? What is that? Is that a Bjorn? I don't know what that is. I think that might be a Bjorn. He sounds like a Bjorn. Woo. There he goes. Hoping that guy would actually fly that way. Just get onto the beacon here. Because that's also going to charge up my mothership. Although I did have my mothership ready, I think. Whew, he's almost dead. There we go. Behind you. Have fun. That will kill him. Dark lights. The Mauler lacks protection. It's not as strong and tanky like it was when it first came out though. You know, it's kind of crazy. It's like a fraction of what it used to be. Before you could really tank the damage. Now you can to some degree, but it wears off very quickly. What makes a Mauler deadly is that dark light. You gotta be careful of that. You could be even in a Sirocco. You're not careful, there's a Mauler behind you. Yeah, if they get you with the dark light, it will only hit a couple times and you're dead. Yeah, so for these weapons, kind of okay. I prefer the Murex. You could... Okay, so this would be another option, although I don't know if... Because if you don't have any Murex, I was thinking you could run Shredder and Murex on here and then use the flamethrowers on the Fang. That would be the other option. Trying to think like what other weapon. Yeah, you really need something with like blast damage. Like, or not blast damage, burst damage rather. But it fires quick. Yeah, I guess you'll have to run Mace. Murex is better though. Or what you could do is, if you don't have Murex, there's a good chance you'll be getting the Harmattan. So maybe you may not get... You'll get components maybe for this event. I'm trying to think. I haven't gotten any of those weapons yet on the baby account. Because I haven't done the opening yet. Yeah, so when a weapon comes out in an update, it's very hard to get that weapon. And then in the following update, you're going to find you're getting more components or you'll win weapons from it. And then the update after that, so 2 updates later, you know, they're going to start dropping more and more. It's kind of like right now we have... What's in this one? Yeah, so you know these weapons, like the Velos Machaira, like you had it on all your bots. You see how it works? So every update, you're going to notice... those weapons drop more and more. So what is this one here? So 2 data pads with that. Okay, so yeah, so they have it here, but my guess is you're gonna see more Shantak, the flamethrowers especially, and then you have the Lumen. So you may get components for this, but you may not get a weapon. And then you have that. Yeah, so my guess is we're going to get a lot of the Shantak weapons in this event. And most likely the flamethrowers. And then a couple of lumens sprinkled in there. Yeah, but each update, that's how it works. And then the next update, we'll get a lot of flamethrowers. Probably a lot of the Shantak weapons. And then quite a lot of the lumen too. Which weapons to upgrade? You get more lumen than Shantak now. Yeah, so if you want Shantak and the Vuna, don't upgrade them because those will be getting a really bad nerf. This is not something Pixonic has told me, by the way. I just know based on the games I played, when players are stacking their hangars, doing multiple builds with it because it has a lot of damage, that's your first warning sign. That's the first red flag for me that it's going to get nerfed. And it's not just a little nerf, probably going to be a pretty bad one. So knowing that up front, you want to invest in probably these weapons here or the Machaira. But again, if you watch the start of the stream, I did mention you don't want to overload. So one of the problems with the hangar that Jagotram had. So this is the original. So I have it up on the screen right now. Do you see what I mean? So we have the newer with Basileus and Machairas. We have a Pathfinder with Machaira. And then we have a Vulcan with Machaira and Velos. We have 3 bots with the same weapon type. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is you want to diversify it. Okay, so if you look at my hangar carefully here. So we do have those weapons, but it's only on the Vulcan. We don't have it on like 3 bots. So if this gets nerfed, then what I would do is run something like Hazard and Blight. Okay, so... You know, if you don't have these weapons, then run Hazard and Blight. So that would be like your backup. But at least it only affects 1 bot. It doesn't affect, and I don't have to worry about these because I'm thinking proactively that it's going to, you know, those weapons are going to get nerfed. So then on this one, I have the flamethrowers, which is not too bad, right? It's a pretty strong build, but I only have it on the Vector. I don't have it on other builds here. The point I'm trying to make is you must diversify. Otherwise, if you don't do that, you're going to get hurt really bad when a balance change comes. And not just the weapons. I know I'm talking about the weapons here, but your bots too. Okay, so for example, you don't want to run 3 vectors. I would not do that because you're going to be crying when that balance change comes, and maybe the vector's not even playable. You've now wasted your time and resources on 3 bots when I could have prevented you from making that mistake from the very beginning. That's what I'm telling you up front now, not to do it. Unless, of course, you can afford it, but I know there's a lot of free players out there, so if you're a free player, don't do it. It might hurt at the start, thinking, well, you could have crushed your opponent, but you got to think long term. That's very short-sighted. Hi, Dracomus. Because he keeps talking about if you don't have Murex. Yeah, if you don't have Murex for this one, then you could use Flames. You could use the Mace. Obviously, the Harmattan is like my preference right now because it's very strong. But yeah. Is the Vulcan upgrade worth it? At this point, yes. I think it's worth it. Just don't upgrade multiple. Hi, Yusuf. You have 3 Murex. What you could do, because I know you have. Okay, this is a bit of an exception, but there's also a rhyme and reason to it as well. What you could do is you could run this. I know it's gonna look a little bit odd. Don't mind that. So what you could do is you got 3 Murex. You could do this. Whoops, not that one. Okay, so you could run this. Now this is more just to apply the rust effect, so they can't heal up, and then you hit them with this. Another option is to maybe if you get a Harmattan, you use this weapon here. That might be another option, because then you have that burst damage, and it's kind of similar. If you don't have that, then the next best option is probably Mace. Okay, so you can run something like that. But yeah, at least I would rather run something like this than to run like range. You know what I mean? Because you saw in the games. I mean, I didn't even have to play. I mentioned what was going to happen before I even got into a game because I wanted you guys to see that, I've been through all of this. I wouldn't be able to tell you up front before I even played any games if I hadn't gone through all of this myself. Because this is what I used to face when I first started this game. I know the meta and the bots were all different, but it's the same thing. It's just different bots. Players don't, they play the same way. Or at least the strongest players do. You would put the Machaira on the top so it would at least look. Yeah, so what you could do is if you have this bot, like these weapons, another thing that you could do, which, I mean, we're getting into fine details here, put your mace on the lower level. The reason why you want these on the lower level is because if you're dealing with a low key and he goes into stealth, because the fang is so low to the ground, and when your Murex fires, you have that bullet spread, you're going to hit a low key in stealth. You don't actually need quantum radar. Okay, so you could do that. And then if you do run like Machaira, then, which is, I know, opposite of what Yura is saying, but I'm giving you my reasoning as to why I would do it that way. Yeah, so you run your spray / shotgun weapons on the bottom because you're low to the ground. If there's a low key in stealth, you can kill him. You don't need quantum radar or you don't need seeker, even though I know I do have seeker here, but I'm just saying, if you don't have seeker, you're running like shy or like armadillo or something. Your vector build is half gone. Well, you have flames on here. That's what I was like saying. The I4 with... I4 doesn't really do that well with close range weapons. It does better with mid range. So you want to, for I4, you want to focus on like the Furnace and the Torch, or the Veneer and Vincier weapons. Those are the weapons you want to... I wouldn't do close range. I think it's... I mean, it's a one and done deal if you do close range. You're going to go in a flight, you're going to do your shots, like hit your opponent, and then you're going to die. And you just hope that you kill them, right? Because if you're dealing with something like an Atlas, chances are you're going to find through their shield. Even though I know you may be above them, if they jump up, they will be able to block you. And then when you land, that's when you're going to get killed. So this is why it's better to run mid-range. Oh, you're running Elox? Okay, well, if you're running Elox, then that's fine. So then what I would do is I would do this. Okay, so you're running Elox and the Murex, so we'll put that on here. And I'll show you the changes I would make to your hangar then. Let me build your build here first. Okay, so that you can see how I'm adjusting my hangar. Because I think it's important to see the process. This is why, you know, before I used to do these as a video format. The problem with the video format is I'm only showing you the end result. You're not getting the reasoning. And part of learning in this game is you need to know the reasoning. If you know the reasoning, then you can apply it for all future builds. So I'm teaching you to think like, you know, that kind of critical thinking, so that it helps you with your builds later on down the road. You know, maybe I'm not around and you will be able to figure things out yourself. Okay, so we're taking the flamethrowers off the vector then, and then we're going to be applying it to this. And that's all I'm doing. Because this build's actually quite strong too. This build's actually even stronger, I would say. But you really... I mean, if you get the Scurvale drone, then you would want to use that instead. But this is really strong. But yeah. Furnace is better on Basag. I know a lot of players use the Furnace and they use the Veneer weapons. You only have 2 Kelvins. Okay, so if you have that... Well, you should be getting more of these, though. You should be getting more of these weapons. Because remember, it's appearing in the drops. I have multiple... I think I have 1 or 2 of these already on my baby account. And that's a free account, so you should be getting some components, or you should be getting a few. You already have 2. You said you had 2. I know it's the other one. Only have 2 Kelvins. So you have 2 flames. There's a build, but I don't want to run it because then you're... Well, actually what you could do then, what you could do is this. Okay, so we're going to mix things up here. We're going to go according to what you have. So you have 2 Machairas, I know that. So we're going to do this. Oftentimes, players actually have the weapons and stuff. They just don't know how to reconfigure because they're so set on certain builds. So this can still pack a punch. I mean, I did a video on this. So you said that you had this. So we're going to run this then. By the way, I know that this works because I was running it as one of my main vector builds as well. We're going to run 2 Machairas on here, and the reason why you're running these is to apply the rust so that when you face other vectors, you're applying rust to their vectors so they can't heal up. Okay, so then you would do that, which means that should be a little bit better. So now what we could do with this one, so I think, I don't know, so you said you don't have Murex, so then you would have to use, no wait, you had Murex. You said you had 3 Murex. You run that vector build? Yeah, it's quite good, that one. I ran it because it applies that rust. It works really well against other vectors. So then you could run this with, I think you said you had a mace, right? Okay, so there you go. So you have Celsius, you got Machaira. I'm just kind of wondering here because maybe we should include light, medium. I haven't run this particular build, and this might be kind of a weird build, which may or may not work. Wait. Well, I'm just going to throw this on. I don't have the other one, but we'll just use this one here. This is more just to apply the rust, just so that you have some builds with to counter with rust. But I would have to run this first. I'm not sure whether this will hit hard enough. I mean, you have 3 mediums, but this might do a little bit better for you. I do find that the Leo dies really easily now, though. It's not that it's a bad bot. It's just we have a lot of rust in the game. In terms of like what you could use instead, honestly, like something like an Imugi is a lot better because at least you have stealth and you can move in the air pretty quickly. Demeter might be another really good option too. In fact, I would rather, in this current meta, I would rather run Demeter over the Leo. I have not tried the ultimate Tehran yet. I think it's a different style of play though. You have to hang back a little bit more. I know it's a close range, like the 350 meter range, but you have to be careful. We have a lot of damage outputs. You know, players running the Harmattan, for example, that can kill you if you're not careful. You don't have the flames. I'm actually confused by your comment because didn't you just say that you had the Celsius? Guys, am I reading that wrong? Didn't he just say that he had the Celsius earlier? Oh, he has 2 Kelvins. He has 2 Kelvins. That's what he said. I'm trying to think like what he could run here for this one. I haven't tried it, but you know what? I think even Shredders could work. What I can do is I can just run a quick game. I wasn't going to run a game, but I can run a quick game just to kind of test this. You have lockdown, and also you have a lot of particles hitting your opponent, so that's good if I'm dealing with something that has a shield. Now there's another thing that I can also do. If I want to bypass a shield, then I wouldn't run the tents. I would actually run the Hawkeye. So it really depends. But because this hangar is lacking on like tanks, I wouldn't take that route. I think I would stick with the tensor because you need a very strong tank. Okay, hold on. Let me run it one game here. I just want to see how it performs quick. Yeah, I'm trying to help. He's yelling at me, but I get treated that way by I get treated that way by a lot of players. Sometimes I'm just trying to help. I mean, I'm giving him a free bot as well, so I don't know what the yelling is. Don't make me change my mind. Okay, let's see if we can try to get this to work. So we do have so this build is firing multiple. You're gonna have multiple particles here. I noticed they do have a Pathfinder who can lock me down. But I think these guys also might be stream sniping, because when I spawned, they immediately started looking this side. Okay, so I did lock him, and we did apply. I actually wanted to go, but I'm not. I have a Pathfinder on my right flank here that I don't like. Yeah, this build works. It definitely works. Look at that. This build definitely works. Shoot, I need my ability here. I'm coming after you. I know you were hiding back there. Get him first. Get some rust on the Fenrir. Gonna fall back here behind this this Amit. Trying to EMP them. My teammates need to push forward here. I gotta get behind this Amit. Put your shield up, dude. Oh my gosh. We need guys in the center there. Does that, it used to, it doesn't do it anymore. They changed it because there was problems with players. So if you had unstable conduit like the way that it was before, if you were in a vector, you could keep your vector alive the entire game. So that's why they changed it. Just creating balance problems. I'm gonna end up dying here. But at least I got rid of that that guy. Thing is, they got a lot of range back there. Trying to get this guy down to his last stand. What is that? How's he in... What? There's no way that's a Sam Jock. Is that guy cheating? He's in a phase... Oh, I was gonna say phase shift. That's kind of long, that. Yeah. We have the center. Using this. Don't move out the way. You were my shield. Now I'm getting it. Oh my god. Well, we still have the center. Uh-oh. We're in trouble. We need to be in center here. That Bjorn actually got out of center when he should have stayed in. Now I don't know how I'm going to get my Mauler into center. And we're all sitting back here. Wait, is that my team, my Titan on the right side? In the Eiffel? No, that's red players. Yeah, so you see like my whole team. So at this point, if you're on my team and you see red team with all their Titans and you're in your Ammits, you got to get out of your Ammit. Because the thing is, they're going to kill your Ammit, then they're going to push forward into our spawn, and all their Titans are fully charged up. When you drop in, your Titan repair amp's not even charged. So your Titan's actually going to end up dying straight away. Yep, I'm dead. There's no ways. So now I've lost my Titan, but watch what happens to my teammates now, because they're going to drop in their Titans, right? Just watch. Watch. There's one. This guy dropped into his Titan when he most likely had it ready. He's in his Princeps. He's going to get smoked straight away. Look. Watch this. There goes his Princeps. And we have another guy that drops in with his Titan, instant death, because the whole of red team is fully charged now. Their Titans are charged and they're in your spawn. Every bot you drop in, instant death. Yep. Okay, so anyways, bottom line, that vector build works. Okay, so anyways, this is where we're at as far as how I optimize this hangar. So we have the Nanea on the Leo. Let me just show what I have here in terms of the specialization track. Hi, Fang. We've got the Showdown. Yeah, I think he was just getting annoyed, but the thing is, you got to remember, so when I'm looking at my screen, like this game screen, I'm not looking at the chat because the chat's actually on my right monitor. So when I'm going through the builds like this, by the time that I look at the live chat, the whole screen has already shifted. So I have to try to piece together based on what I can see when I scroll up, but I'm going to miss things because I'm kind of moving quickly. Otherwise, I'm going to sit here for 1 minute trying to figure out what he said. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately, when you're streaming. Okay, so now we have this pilot here. We've got the Pathfinder with the Lumen. The notification. Yeah, make sure that you leave likes and stuff, because I think that might also contribute to whether you get notified, because you're interacting more with the channel. And I think possibly, I don't know for sure, but I could see YouTube doing that. If you're not interacting much, then it won't send out those notifications, because it would probably assume that you're not interested, right? That's why yeah, because I know there were some channels that I used to watch, and I used to get notifications all the time when they would release stuff. But then all of a sudden I noticed like it stopped. And then I'm like, recently I was getting notifications to some channels. I was like, oh yeah, I'll subscribe to them. But I never saw any of their videos and stuff because I didn't get notified. But if I'm being honest, I didn't always go to their channel and like leave likes and stuff. So that's why I'm thinking it might be that. Can I put... Oh, I'm not going to be running any games, but from what I understand, the regular Shredder has better shot grouping than the Ultimate. Unless they've changed that, but that's that's what was known. Yeah, I don't know if they've changed it though, which means that the regular Shredder is better at locking down. The other one might do more damage though. Yep, the shot grouping is better. Everyone is kind of surprised by that, so I'm like, well, is it really worth? But the thing is, if you close up, I think it might still be worth it because you're doing more damage. But if you're using it for the purpose of locking down, I think the regular might be better. If the shot grouping is better, then it'll build up the accumulation, the lockdown accumulation faster. What does it mean by shot grouping? So, for example, if you have a shotgun like this, when you fire, it like fans out, like the pattern. You know what I mean? Like the pellets fan out. It's not in like one spot. It's like in multiple spots. So if I had to fire, the reason why I'm running this is because if I have to engage like a Shogget, because the pattern of the Merrick's fires outwards, it blankets the Aegis shield and it knocks it down faster because it's getting hit all around. The other option would be to run something like a Shredder which fires fast, right, to knock the shield down. But if you have a shotgun, it blankets it and it will knock it down faster. So if you compare like these weapons to like, you know, to these weapons, it's very focused. Like when you fire, it hits like a spot, whereas this will hit multiple, you know, like it sprays. That's what I mean. So there's ways that you can change, not change the pattern, but you can improve on the shot grouping using the pilot skill. So this one here. So that means it's not as wide, it's more narrower. And if it's narrower, more of the particles or the pellets will hit your opponent further when you are further out. So you typically want to run shot grouping when you have like a shotgun. Or another example is like the Ultimate Punisher T or like Ultimate Avenger. You know, like the machine guns, if you have shot grouping, more of your bullets will hit your target. If you don't run it, it's going to be spraying all over the place. Now there is another pilot skill as well for like for machine guns. There's shot grouping and there's also speed shooter. Because I know players ask me, well, if they could only choose one, which one would you choose? I would choose shot grouping because I've actually tried it. If you think about it, it makes sense, right? Because you can have speed shooter which fires faster, but the problem is if you're spraying it all over the place, you're actually missing more of your shots. You're actually amplifying it, right? Because you're firing it faster, which means you're probably going to miss. So if you want to get more damage in, I would pick shot grouping over speed shooter. Speed shooter is nice to have, but it should be secondary to the shot grouping. Go full... Yeah, so when I don't use shot grouping is if I'm going to be like teleporting right next to my opponent or something. So for example, if I was running these weapons on a Scorpion, then I wouldn't use shot grouping because I'm teleporting right next to them. I don't need it. But if I'm running, for example, on this, I would, because I'm moving around very quickly and I may not be firing when I'm right next to the player. If I'm right next to them all the time, like a Scorpion, then I don't need it. So you need to understand your bot too, like where it's useful and when it's not. It's Tom Cruise. I'm actually surprised they could do it. That's why I was kind of confused. Like, you could get into like copyright issues later on unless they got permission. But I don't think they did. But who knows? I mean, maybe he's going to end up being a pilot or something. I mean, other than this. What is the range of the Harmattan? Isn't it like 350? Yeah, 350. Yeah, so these weapons, you do want to use shot grouping if you're running it on a Fang. Because again, it's a shotgun, right? It sprays. Any kind of weapon that sprays, if you can try to use shot grouping, it narrows the distance between the particles so that more of them hit the target. Okay, so anyways, guys, that is going to be it for this week's episode of Dream Hangars. Also, once again, thank you to Jagotram for participating. As I mentioned, your prize will be a Fang. I will also be announcing the winners to the Fang later tonight. Officially, I'm supposed to announce it tomorrow, but I usually do it the night before. So I will announce the winners later tonight. If you haven't yet entered into that giveaway, make sure you do that very soon. And then, yeah, once I announce it, then I will start delivering the prizes. Also, we have another giveaway currently running for the... which one did I do it for now? I think it was for the heavy version, right? I think it was the Harmattan H is the other one. Yeah, so I have a giveaway running for that. If you haven't yet entered into that, make sure you do it because those winners are going to be announced on Sunday. Actually, technically Saturday night. And I'm going to start sending out the prizes then. So you want to make sure you do that. There's a slight chance that I might do a giveaway tomorrow as well. I know my giveaways are kind of overlapping. It's because I have so many giveaways that I have to kind of do by the end. By the end of this event. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of overlapping of giveaways. So if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure that you do that. And you turn on all your notifications, guys. This way you don't miss when those giveaways happen. So yeah, before I get going, thank you very much to Dark Warrior, Lone, Dominic Kine, Dies, Peter Cold, Alex, Togi, and Ramil. If you guys were around, thank you so much for helping to moderate today's live stream. Much appreciated. If they have YouTube channels, make sure to check them out. Also, thank you very much to Ramil, to Marcos, and Chain Swing. Thank you so much for the membership and also for the donations. Really appreciate it, guys. And if they have YouTube channels, make sure to check them out. Also, guys, once again, if you are making any purchases through the web shop, consider using my creator code, Adrian Chong, without any spaces. And that goes towards supporting the channel so that I can continue to help you guys through things like Dream Hangars, guides, the baby account. It really helps the channel out. And thanks in advance. And yeah, for the ones who are asking, how do you participate in Dream Hangars? Let me just put up this comment here so that you can at least refer to it. So you know how it all works. Okay, so once the stream is done, if you are struggling with your hangar, maybe put down your hangar, or maybe, you're thinking about building a certain type of hangar. It could be a hangar idea, it could be a theme, something you're building towards or something you're thinking of building towards. 5 different robots. Just mention the build, the drone. You don't have to go into details. Okay, like try to keep it short because I do have to kind of display it on the screen. So 5 different robots, a Titan, obviously the Titan setup, the mothership, and the most important part, make sure that you put your pilot ID. Okay, so I need the pilot ID because if you get selected, I can lock in your prize. I don't pick comments that don't include the pilot ID now. I had issues in the past, so I don't do that anymore. So if there's no pilot ID, then you won't be selected. It's that simple. You just put it in the comment. Yeah, once the stream is done, though. You got to wait until the stream is done, and then you can put it. Because this way, so you always want to make sure when it comes to Dream Hangars, if you have an idea, always find the latest Dream Hangar. Because what's going to happen is when I do the next episode, I'm going to come back to this episode. Okay, because this is the last one. And then I will go through the comments and I will select a viewer. And that's how it works. Which video? It will be under this one. Yeah, it will be under this one. Okay, and I try to do these live streams every Thursday, unless, of course, we have a new update. So, for example, if we had a new update that came out this week, I wouldn't have done Dream Hangars this week because I need to cover the new content. So it's kind of like a filler, if you will, but it's meant to help players out. Why don't you get the offers? I think it's only every couple of days. It's like a special thing. You just gotta, you have to keep logging in and checking to see if it, if it's available that day. Yeah, so we don't have it now. Usually they have like, what's it, promos, drones, and then they have different things. Yeah. I don't see it now, but maybe tomorrow they might be. Okay, so that's going to be it, guys. If this is the first time you happen to drop by my YouTube channel live stream, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Dream Hangars. If you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and also consider using my creator code to support this series. Would really appreciate it. And I think that's pretty much it. So with that said, thank you guys for watching. Stay safe. And until the next live stream, I will catch you guys later. Cheers, guys.